someone's wishing they could turn back time here to address something. Like they're wishing that they had actually addressed whatever this is, or I'm seeing it as like confronted with the Seven of Swords in reverse. And I think this person for a while, like they pushed this away or they wanted to like let it go. We also have manifest and then let go. I think whatever this was specifically, it's like this person was hoping that maybe you would just like let this go if they just ignored it. We also have sexuality and then yes. So I'm kind of seeing this as intimacy, but there is an intimacy card here. So it could just be that there's something about, you could have asked this person something a while ago that has to do with sexuality, or they could just maybe wish they had taken the opportunity to, I kind of feel like maybe they just want to know your thoughts on whatever this is. This person could be wondering what your what is it called? Your sexual orientation is, or they're wondering, there is something about intimacy here. The biggest thing that this is giving with let go and then manifest is that this person maybe wishes that they had approached the idea of like intimacy or the topic in general of preferences and things like that with more of an open-minded view, because I think this is something where this person is sort of feeling into this energy of like what it like could have been like to explore this in a way that is like not a lot of pressure and just kind of see what happens and see where things go. And I think this person right now, it's showing up like they might be kind of worried about, I'm seeing this as like hot and cold. So this person might be worried because they've been very hot and cold, or they seemed like very, like you couldn't really get a read on this person and what they were into, or it was something where they were very timid about like discussing these kinds of things. We also have the tiger and the crow here. Showing up like in the past, this has been something where if you set the tone or if it's the right energy, you are open to exploring things, but it's also showing up like you don't openly, like you're not also, like you're also somebody who maybe is not super open and like extroverted in this way. It's something where you have like this, that you have an essence to you. It's giving Queen of Wands with this tiger energy, but it's also something where you do kind of keep this concealed. Like you're showing up as extremely attractive, and this person is extremely attracted to you. I also think this person has like hopes for interactions with you in this way, but there is something about them, I guess it could be dancing around like this topic in a way where they maybe avoided actually diving into this, because this person did have certain hopes, or there are certain things that this person is knowing that they're wanting to explore with you. And I think that there is something that is exciting, but also makes them, you know, a little bit fearful about the idea that they maybe know you well enough to know that you would say yes to whatever this is, or you would want to explore whatever this is. And there is this, like, with let go and sexuality, there's this very fluid energy of how you kind of move with the flow of the energy with whomever you're with in these types of interactions. I think this person knows this about you, but I don't think you guys have really like fully talked or like dove into these types of subjects or these types of interactions. This does seem like somebody that maybe you have had with this hot and cold, like stop and go type of moments like this with. And it's showing up like there's really not a lot of pressure, but you maybe know that this person has some, like, it's just not something they're super solid and sure about. And this could just be because this is something where this person could just be hesitant to explore certain things that they are interested in, but they don't know if like in the moment this is something they're going, like when this is happening, if this is something that they are kind of locked into, which that's not the case, right? But it is showing up like it's one thing to want to explore it, and then it's another thing to talk about it, and another to actually be in the middle of whatever it is that they think about in this situation. I do think that this person right now is maybe a little bit fearful because they could have been very hot and cold recently with you, and it could also be that they've been relatively slow to like open up about these things. But with the sun here, there is an energy of this person maybe wanting to kind of be free in this way, or to just like, it could be like get something off of their chest. I think it stresses this person out that they just like have things that they want to say, and that they know that there were times in the past where you guys could have, like, they could have just brought this up. It's almost showing up like it's not even that stressful of a topic for this person. It's just the fact that they didn't really like ask things they wanted to ask or really dive into this with you. And it's more of an energy of like them back in the day, I guess, when this would, or back in the times where this would have been something where it just like effortlessly would have flowed in the conversation. I think this is something where maybe this person was more focused on remaining kind of, strategic or concealed, or they were just, maybe they wanted to come off a certain way. And so they didn't kind of lean into like where the conversation could have gone organically. And because of that, I think this is something that it's like this person still has all these things on their mind. And so it is something where like they do want to talk to you about this kind of stuff, or they want maybe there to be a moment where naturally they can, like they have the opportunity to bring this stuff up. We have the Five of Pentacles. And then the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. This person might be feeling, and then we also have the King of Cups in reverse. This person might be a little bit stressed out because you, with this Tiger energy, it is coming off like you have a level of confidence, not in like a boastful or like an obvious way, but you have this energy about you that's like, I don't want to say intimidating, but there is really like, there is an essence, there is an energy to these types of interactions with you. And it's like undeniable, and it's not just chemistry that you have with this person. And I don't think that they have felt this way, or like that type of energy that you exude with many people. And I think that something that it is very kind like touch and go, because as long as you are remaining in flow, there's something about this person being able to like relax into stuff like this. And I think that that is something they have a really hard time with. It's something they have a hard time with. I don't think it's that this person compares themselves to you. I just think that it's like they've had experiences maybe in the past where this is something that maybe they thought they were on the same page in some regard with someone, and I think they're worried about if you have expectations of them being able to match that energy in a certain way. But I don't think that's how it is. I think this energy is just something where like when it's there and when you flow with it, it is there. And so I think they associate that vibe of you being able to lean into it in that way. They associate it with you having certain knowledge of certain things. And I don't even think that's fully the case. I think you lean into the energy, if that makes sense. I know there's a right way to word this, but I can never think of the right ways to word things right in the moment. There is something very enticing and very exciting about that, but there's also this vibe of like, wouldn't even know where to start. Like they maybe wouldn't even know where to start when it comes to like talking about this. And because of that, they maybe didn't, but it has nothing to do with like their interest in this way. We also have the Five of Cups, and I was going to say in reverse, but it's upright. They feel like they missed a lot of opportunities here because of this. And I don't even think you know about this. I don't think you're viewing it like this. I think it's like this person might be, like I was saying, waiting for a bit of an opportunity for this to be something where they feel like they can handle the idea of like communicating this with you and actually exploring it and seeing where it goes. And there is something that they have a hard time with when it comes to doing that. And I think that it could just be that you like when they operate with you in this way, they feel into the energy. I think they're a little bit like, it's hard for them to relax because they don't know where it goes, but they can. And so there's a little bit of an energy of like, they really would have to fully just like let go and like go there and go with the flow. And that is something that that is just something to get used to, or it's something that this person doesn't want to rush and they're okay with not rushing, but they do also feel torn because they feel like they've missed opportunities here. And it's not that this person doesn't want this, they very much do. But I want to know a little bit more about how this person is feeling. I feel like maybe you picked up on this energy with pride, change. I understand nothing can grow or evolve without movement, and then love. And then judgment. I was just about to say before I flip this over, this is giving the energy of somebody having a bit of a hard time really just fully accepting themselves in this like flowing energy. And it is something that they would get used to with time, but it is initially it's just a big thing. Like it seems like it's very new for this person to be doing this again. And this, this could be something where this person they have like been celibate for a long time, or this is something where they just haven't really been interested in this, in like recent opportunities where maybe they would have, or they could have. It's almost giving this vibe of like health. Yeah, there's, and then patience. I feel like this is something where you guys both have a healthy level. The Nine of Pentacles and then the King of Wands in reverse. There is something about, this is a really confident person, but it's like this is something where this person maybe feels like they wouldn't be the one taking the lead in some way. And because of that, I think it's showing up like you would maybe be the person that they would be comfortable with this or letting things go there with. But it's the fact that it's them, or like they have a hard time letting go of control or not being the one. Could just be like a dominance thing, especially with this tiger here. And I think that this is hard for this person to lean into. But the energy that I'm getting from you is very demure. Like it's very like if this person were to sort of release control to you in this way, it's showing up like you would probably know what to do with that, and that there is no rush, and that this is something where you'd be fully in tune with this person's energy. Essentially, that's that feline, that tiger energy. It's very in tune, it's very intuitive. And this person, I think it's interesting because they know this very like well. Like they are usually probably the person that people are letting go of control to. And so this may be something where it has to do with exploring like dominance and submission, or just exploring things in more of like a fluid and like open way. And that can be very feelsy. It can also be extremely transformative. And I want to say with this Phoenix card, this could be something where there's like a root chakra awakening that this person is going to experience, or that they have experienced. And I think that it may be that if you guys have like been intimate in this way, or you guys have had moments like this, it's something where you probably that you are very much in tune with that energy. But this person is also, it's sacral, and so sacral and root energy it's sexual. So there is something about this being like there's a kind of like there's a wild element to it with the tiger and the phoenix and the sea serpent. And there is this energy of like, this probably would be pretty wild. There is love though. I feel like this is someone who loves you. I feel like this is someone that you love. I also feel like there is something about what's interesting, because if this is something that this person, they have a hard time being patient with themselves when it comes to like the ability for them to take pride in these changes, or this feeling of wanting to transform this situation in this way. It's showing up like you would maybe be proud that this person was wanting to explore this in this way. So that's sweet. I want to know a little bit more about what this person is actually timid about, because there's a lot of different things here and it kind of seems specific. Also, health was on the ground here. So it could also be that part of this is that this person has a hard time viewing like this as something that is healthy. This person could like have shame around this. And so with let it go and then sexuality, and yet it actually is showing up like this might be a really emotional, like it would be a very emotionally healing thing for this person, but it's because of that level of like, the level of emotion that would be involved in this. It is something that they take it very seriously, and it is something that they don't, it's showing up like it's very sacred in that way. And this person, they do, I want to say they do trust you. We have date night and then communicate, get ready to be wined and dined, and then communicate, compromise, forgive, and work it out. It's giving like this might be the type of person who doesn't just like go for these things, right? Like they could be someone who very much sets the tone. And like I was saying, I think this person is the one who usually is doing that kind of thing. But for some reason, it's like it's different with you. It's different because I don't think you just, it's this energy of like you don't have expectations with this person. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Or you don't, I don't think you have expectations, but I think because you don't share that you have any specific expectations in this regard, this person may be a little bit curious or not sure. If you do, you just like don't say what they are. And so there's like a little bit of hesitancy because it makes this person maybe feel a little bit like they're maybe a little bit timid in that area that they usually are very confident in this way, because you have this tiger energy. They don't know exactly what's on your mind all the time, but they are very in tune with you. Also, with them showing up with that King of Cups in reverse, it's almost showing up like, and then a King of Wands also in reverse. This person is like the energy king or whoever this is. It's like they are very intuitive and very in tune. And so there's something about you that throws them because they're not listening to their intuition when it comes to this. But I think there is this element of like, there is a huge element of safety involved, especially with this rabbit card. There is like, this person does have certain fears in this situation. There's the Four of Wands here. This person does want, they do want to see you. This could also be like reconciliation, right? Or somebody could have a birthday coming up, or there could be some kind of moment where there's a celebration. You did have that date night card, and then communicate. So this person may be recognizing that they have an opportunity to communicate with you. But again, like we were talking about part one, there is this vibe of like, they still feel some disappointment for the times where in the past they maybe feel like they did have these opportunities, or they had these opportunities to communicate these things and to kind of feel out the energy in this way. So I want to know how you are feeling about the situation, because right now it's showing up like there's the Four of Wands again. So you could have a reunion coming up with this person, or you could already have a date planned with this person, or you could be planning to meet up with this person. Ace of Pentacles, new beginning, and then the Star. I feel like you're both hoping for an opportunity, not just for like physical interaction, but like the star. It's like fireworks. There is something about the intensity of the two of you together when it comes to like physical passion that is intense or that is intimidating. It doesn't seem like it's you that is intimidating or intense, but you do have an energy like, yeah, there's that King of Cups again. Support, communication, open-heartedness, empathy. I think this person maybe just feels like that Five of Cups. It's like a little bit of this energy of they feel like maybe they dropped the ball when it comes to like being able to be the one to kind of navigate these conversations or communications with more of like an openness to you. It may not be that they're super closed off to this, but they may feel like looking back on this, they just wish they had handled certain things in certain ways, or that they had, it could be like offered you, like asked more questions, especially this, I keep looking at this Tiger card and then this turtle also, like if you could be like a Cancer, like somebody who has like a little bit of a shell, or you're not super upfront, like you are open, but it's like a cat, right? Like you do things on your terms or when you want to, so you're not gonna open up about something unless you feel like it, basically. And if this person wasn't asking you a ton, or they didn't take the opportunities, there's something about them feeling like they didn't, then they maybe know that you kind of just concealed or you hung back here. And I think this person's wanting, it's almost like they're just wanting to show more care here. There is emotion involved in this. We have the Ace of Pentacles and then the Three of Swords. Ooh. And then Strength in reverse. And then the Star. With the Page of Pentacles. The Lovers in reverse. It's interesting because this is like my little flashcard deck from a long time ago, but I specifically wrote disappointment on the bottom, or on this one in reverse. I feel like this person, they have a hard time because they maybe feel like they often set themselves up to disappoint or for disappointment. Also with the Three of Swords and then Strength in reverse, this person could have seen this situation a bit of like, especially with the Ace of Pentacles here. Also, this is reminding me of like the 4th of July, so that could be significant. But there's something about this person maybe feeling like they did have an opportunity with you, and I almost want to say you guys could have, you may not be speaking right now, but I think this could have been something where you guys were on a date or you did talk about this kind of stuff. But this person, I'm almost getting this energy of like after you guys did talk about this person maybe just kind of came up with their own conclusion without asking like more questions about what's up. And so they did kind of set themselves up for their own disappointment here, because I think that this person has some assumptions that maybe it's seeming like it's a lot of it is your communication style, or in their communication style. Like there's something about you guys not really fully giving each other maybe the opportunity. Like you guys both seem a little bit guarded with each other, and because of that you didn't get enough information to like make an accurate assessment about the fact that this situation maybe was supposed to be an Ace of Pentacles situation, which is like, you know, the ideal situation or opportunity or new beginning, or that this would have offered you guys both like something that, you know, like in your soul you both want. But I think at the surface, when you're looking at maybe your most recent interactions, there is something kind of heartbreaking about this, or this person's feeling some grief that they feel like they don't really have a lot of strength to like get over, which is interesting because it's almost coming off like Queen of Cups in reverse. That could be like how this person thought, that could be how this person handled this situation. They feel like they operated in Queen of Cups in reverse energy. But they're coming off like a King of Cups in reverse. So this person maybe feels like they didn't. It's like this huge energy of this person not going with their gut. Like they just didn't go with their intuition. And I think they pick up on certain things with you and they feel a certain way, but they did not trust that. And I think that this person dismissed the situation because of that. I think looking at it now, they're understanding that really this was something they could have approached in this way, and it had a lot of opportunity in it with the Ace of Pentacles and the Star, but they did not choose to explore this in this way. And so I think that's also confirming part of the reason that, like in part one, this person feels worried that they aren't going to get the opportunity because they were very hot and cold, or they've taken so long to come forward or to discuss this. And a lot of this, it's like this person's being probably like their body is calling to you. But there was a lot of stuff here about like sexuality or intimacy. Also, this person, they could have been exploring this with other people, the Sun. And so I think that success and happiness. I think this person thinks that you conceal a lot more of you than you do because you have this tiger energy. You're not easy to read on the surface, but you have an energy about you that is very in control and very like you assess the situation and you don't move loudly. You move on your terms and according to the assessments that you make. And a tiger, the tiger is in no rush. Tigers are like, they don't do a lot in the daytime. They just kind of do their thing and sleep and assess the situation and they just relax. But they are feminine energy. It's like cat-like energy. And your big cat, it's like you move at nighttime. Also, this card is about midnight. This person also, it's coming to my mind that this person, especially with this turtle card, the turtle card is about like having stories like under your shell or saving stories for a later date. This person may have heard certain things, or they may have interpreted certain things that you did tell them in a certain way, or sort of given you a reputation, or they came up with like their own reputation for you based on what they do know or the knowledge that they do have. And it's funny because it's showing up like maybe they didn't actually like take the time to explore this or to ask more about this because they're regretful about something and they're feeling grief. They're feeling like they also, the strength in reverse, I wrote avoiding conflict on it. Part of this could have been that they were not knowing exactly how to handle these interactions with you, and so they were avoidant of this. They were very timid of this. Eight of Pentacles, perfectionism, achievement, development. This person also has some kind of standards for themselves where they maybe thought that you were going to apply certain standards to them. The Two of Cups. I think unless you feel like you're being seen or understood or being given that level of like effort on someone else's part to like let you come out of your shell, then you just don't. The Four of Pentacles is like, nope, you just kind of hold it in, because it's like if somebody's not going to go through the effort or show you the effort of wanting to understand you in this way, it's like you don't owe everyone all of you, right? And I think that this person, they may just be very the King of Cups, like this person maybe just didn't have that level of emotional depth to understand why you felt the way you felt about certain things. So I'm actually kind of like, I don't like that I'm taking the position of like, explaining all these things to give you like understand or help you understand this person, because I'm almost like, no, like this person didn't, it's clearly showing up in these cards, like they didn't give you that, like they didn't try to understand you in this way. So I feel like if anything, this person might be someone who, if you do give them the opportunity, they like explain a lot about themselves and like why they do the things they do, and that might annoy you, because I feel like if anything, it's showing up like if this person has genuine remorse for something, they're not going to try and save their ass. Like, yeah, there is a certain level of like communication that they can give you to help you understand better, that they feel like maybe they do owe you, but anything else besides something that it's like, I feel like you're like, I don't want to know why they did what they did. I just want, like, if they want to understand me, they can show up and they can try to understand me. And there's a level of them having to like actually show interest in that way. And you could be someone who stays very concealed unless someone shows you the interest in that way. And so if this person never showed interest in getting to know you in this way, you're like, they get the surface version of me and they can assume whatever they want to about me, but it doesn't mean it didn't hurt you. The Eight of Pentacles in reverse is like, this person showed no effort in sustaining any interest in you. It's like things were very, that's also why I think this person, it's showing up, this is kind of ridiculous, I'm not gonna lie. It's like this is why they feel so, it makes sense why there's so much remorse here, because this person is like realizing how little they put into this. And it's also like part of the reason why maybe they're timid to actually show up and put more into this, even though it seems like they've already taken steps to do this. But it's because they know how, like, the more they get to know about you, the more that they hear about you, the more you open up, the more that they realize that like where they fell short in like what they should have assumed, like the role in trying to understand about you. It's like this person's realizing how little interest, or how not mutual the interest in this situation came off. It's showing up like this person's really interested in you now, but I'm almost getting the vibe that you might be like, yeah, well, it's a little too fucking late. Like, the interest they're showing in me now is not interest they showed in me a year ago, so they can go to hell. The thing is, I still feel like you're showing up as a very intuitive and a very understanding person, because there is something here, like you might have some regrets about like, maybe I should have been more open, but I'm kind of seeing it as like, no, this person should have showed more interest in you, so they do deserve to kind of feel how they're feeling here. Like, they should feel regretful. Also, if they did say some like random offhand like shit that made you feel like, I'm just getting the vibe that this person's not super self-aware. Like, they may not hear how they sound when words come out of their mouth. Self-esteem and judgment. There's something here that they did say, but I'm kind of not saying this as something super, super deep, because I don't think you guys had a super intensely deep relationship. It kind of seems like you guys had a very surface relationship, but this is something where that like unspoken vibe was always there. This person just did not take it in their hands. They didn't take control to like actually pursue this in this way. It's giving this vibe like you were always there, like, and available for that, but they didn't. They just didn't. I think you chalked it up to them not being interested in you, which is showing up like, yeah, of course you would. That's how it would come off, because this person wasn't showing interest in you, in getting to know you, this person may not know, like, this person may not know much about you. Like, this person may not know, like, what your favorite type of music is, or like what your hobbies are, outside of like what they see just like off like the surface, right? I don't think this person went out of their way to do really anything for you. I think that's also why they feel really regretful. This person may not have ever bought you flowers. They may not have ever taken you out. This person may not have, And it's interesting because if that is the type of relationship they were wanting with you, then clearly they found something out here, or they're feeling a type of way where they have a lot of regrets. I want to know what it is like that helped them come to this realization. Because like, you don't just have this epiphany about someone unless they are, like I was saying, you could have recently reconnected. This person could have added you on Instagram or Facebook, or you guys could have like exchanged some messages, and you could be looking really different, or you could be kind of in a different energy, and there is some kind of interaction you guys have had, or something that they've seen. And I want to say a lot of time has gone by between you guys when you actually knew each other in some way, or when this person initially came up with these assumptions about you. And because of that, this person is seeing how much they got wrong, but they feel like they're feeling enough regret here about how they handled this, that clearly you've made an impact on them recently. And I almost feel like this hasn't been super, super deep. But this is something where they do have the opportunity for this to be, if they can take it there, and they're feeling apprehensive, like I was talking about. The butterfly and the shark. There's something about like it could be that you have, with self-esteem, you could have a hard time, like you could be the one that has a hard time just like going with the flow, or like having casual like encounters when it comes to like I was saying, like sexual preferences in part 1. And so I think this person may feel like you know exactly what you want or exactly what you like. And because it's not just like easy and effortless, it's something where you have to like connect. And like I was saying, there's like this sacred energy in that. This is just reminding me of like feeling exposed, or like not wanting to take layers off. And so this may be something where this person just, they kind of thought you were just like, I don't like the vibe here, but I'm trying not to be biased. The owl and then the egg is like knowing the truth. I think if you're this owl energy, that's like you are very in tune, you are watchful. You pick up on things that people don't know that you do, and you make, based on your observation, whether it's something where you want to be, like this black egg card, authentic or completely real or transparent with someone. And that's an energy of you choosing based in your discernment how open to be with someone, and that's completely on your terms. That's not an energy of avoidance. That's very different from that. That's an energy of like being able to assess your surroundings because of your own intuition and your own discernment. And I think the versions that you saw of this person and whatever these interactions were, you were like, no, I'm not gonna show up. There's something about you feeling like, no, you fully see this. I almost want to say like you knew this person was misunderstanding you. Also, what just came to my mind was like the idea of somebody intentionally misunderstanding you. And so there's this energy of like, you knew that you could not peel back your layers. You could not show this person like fully who you were. But like I was saying, there was something about gossip, or something about like this person hearing certain things about you. This person, I'm almost feeling like this is something where maybe you haven't talked to this person in a long time. And this could be someone who did reach out to you, or they did, like I was saying, if you guys do have some kind of like date night set up, then this is maybe something where you guys just reconnected for the first time in a while, and this person's looking at this with completely different energy. They are showing up as very focused on this. They do have regrets in the past, but part of that could be that their eyes are now open because they are seeing you in a different light based on maybe like a recent interaction you've had. But I think this is something where they're recognizing that like you are kind of a completely different person than either they thought you were in the past because they didn't really know you, or they feel like they didn't dive in to trying to understand you better, and they have regrets about that. And they may think it has to do with their patience, like, or their level of patience that they feel like they didn't have in the situation to be able to see you actually come out of your shell in some way. And that's understandable, but it could also be that this person, you are kind of a different person than you were maybe, like, I'm seeing this as like years ago when they did know you, maybe in this way. And so there is this energy of them now seeing you completely different. And there is a little bit of like, there's nerves. This person's nervous. And so if this person did just ask you out, or if they are wanting to do that, then it's looking like it is something that they're a little bit like touch and go, or like they're kind of slow to do this. And I think a lot of this is the reason why. But I want to know how you're feeling. I want to know how you're feeling about this person or this situation. Because part of me thinks you almost like regret. I know that I cannot change the past. And then empathy. I feel like you feel like this person was a dick. Like regret and empathy, you may feel like you regret having empathy. This person. Self-esteem. But I think that you understand that if this is something where this person, if there was really this like misunderstanding or misunderstood energy, I kind of feel like you would empathize with this, but I feel like you may also, you may feel like you have regrets here. That's interesting. I think you empathize with this person, and then judgment, self-esteem and judgment. Regret, empathy, self-esteem, and judgment. It's showing up almost like you might feel like if you guys did have the opportunity to discuss these things like openly and like freely, like we talked about in part 1, and it's more so giving like reputations. It could be reputations because of like, sexual relationships or sexuality in general, or like what you guys did know about each other in the past. But it's sort of saying like you may have, like if you guys did have the opportunity to discuss this stuff, one, I think you would be able to empathize here with some of the regrets this person has, because you may also feel like after hearing their side of things, you have some regrets too, because it's sort of giving like you guys both didn't really know certain things here. Self-esteem and judgment. I also feel like part of the reason maybe you would empathize is because I think that you like it's interesting because I keep seeing this person's interpretation of you as this tiger. It is a very like intense energy because it gives off the energy of somebody who knows exactly what they want or exactly what they like. And I think that in the past they maybe had thought that you were reserved with them because you didn't like want them in this way or that kind of thing. But I think a lot of it might just be that you were very concealed, or you were very you kept this to yourself because maybe you judge yourself, or you had like, you understand what it's like to not have like the greatest self-esteem in this area. And so I almost feel like I feel like this person might feel like you guys have a lot more in common than they initially knew. And so that could be part of the reason why they feel like they they feel like shitty for this indecision, or for the decisions they did end up making in the situation. So I feel like for you, you might feel like your self-esteem was like affected by this person, especially if they were this rabbit energy, if they did just kind of run away, or if you presented an opportunity with them in the past, and they have the 3 of Swords and the Strength in reverse, and this person just avoided conflict, but in a way that maybe made you feel 3 of Swords, like heartbroken, or like it hurt you in some way, like it says upset, and then it also says third party. Like this person could have kind of immediately gone with someone else, or this person may have not taken a lot of time to talk to you about this, about like your interest in this way, but they could have talked a lot about their exes or third parties, like their friends, or like certain things that like something hurt you here. And I feel like there's something that hit your self-esteem or made you feel judged, and it made you maybe make a judgment about this person. And I think that you kind of maybe decided like you were wanting to avoid conflict in the situation in general, so you could have also kind of turned away from the situation and kept some things to yourself because of honesty. But whatever you did share here, I want to say you may feel like you were being honest with this person. And so I do feel like this is still showing up like a very tender thing. And I also feel like this person, part of the reason why with that King of Wands in reverse and King of Cups in reverse and then like the Five of Cups, is because was showing up with this energy of like regret that you may know about, or you may, especially with you having regret here, you may be like, no, I completely understand, because I like, yeah, this is how it went. Like, yeah, I could see how they would have regrets about how they handled something here. I think part of that energy that they were showing up in part 1 and 2, it's like the reason this King of Wands is in reverse is because they may feel like kind of mad at themselves in some way, for them not feeling like they handled this with more confidence and patience with you. And it's almost giving a little bit of an energy of they blamed this on you. They blamed it on you for not feeling super comfortable opening up to them in this way. They may be wanting to offer you a comfortable space, but they had you wrong. The Queen of Cups in reverse again. I feel like this person hurt you. The Six of Wands in reverse. And then the Nine of Pentacles. This person could have, and the Five of Pentacles. I feel like there were times where you were extremely, like, you felt very attractive, but there's something about, like, I feel like you're really sensitive, and I feel like this sensitive emotional energy that you have is something where you could be a Cancer, because I'm like this. And you have a shell. That's what a Cancer is. You're crabs. It's like you maybe conceal that, or you kind of, it's like until this person starts to see like your emotional side, you don't like openly announce how you feel about certain things. And I think this person, it's like you come off like you just, Nine of Pentacles, but then Five of Pentacles is like you could have put yourself out there in some way for this person. And the Five of Pentacles is like you feel like you were left off with like less than you started with in the situation when it comes to like your self-esteem. And it's not, oh my gosh, it's not just this vibe of like, well, you shouldn't care like what other people think. That's so stupid. Sorry. No, it's like you're a sensitive individual. This is something where I think that not being heard or not feeling understood in this way, you were not seen by this person, and then they didn't see all of you, and then they went and like said some things, or the Two of Cups in reverse. You felt like you guys were not on the same page. That's interesting, because you come off like this person has multiple ways that we have Guardian, a lost loved one watches over you. You are protected. You're divinely protected. That's cycles, fate, karma, something ending, something beginning. I think you know that there's something about like you going with your gut. You know that you may know that like it was meant to be, that nothing happened the first time around, or that this person had these opinions so that they could, if they wanted to start again, that this could be very different. But I also feel like I was saying, you guys could have gone through many seasons not speaking. Like you guys are completely different people than you were initially, or they're realizing this now. And then we have Liar. This person, be careful of someone sneaky. I think that you still are using your discernment with this person. I don't know, but this could be someone who they kept things very surface level, or what they did tell you, know and communicate. What they did tell you could have been like you've seen this person lie, or this could be someone that you think is like what is it called? Like a compulsive liar. And you may have felt like you could never understand this person's story, or they never got their story straight. And I think that because of that, you saw this, and then commitment. This person could have also like lied about being in a commitment with someone, or this is like, and then distance. This person could have also like initially showed some kind of interest in trying to get to know you, but they didn't go, I'm seeing that as like they didn't go the distance. And so I think your intuition picked up on like this just not being something where you wanted to explore. I do think that if this person tells you or opens up to you and gives you like full disclosure, you guys might, there's some stuff that you might also kind of have to talk about, especially if there's something about gossip. So if you guys knew each other, you guys knew the same people, or this person did hear some things, you might feel like it tests your patience here, patience and challenge, to actually clear things up with this person. Again, I don't think that you should waste your energy in this situation if this person's not willing to give you, if they're not going to be patient with you. Because if this person can't give you the space to actually like want to open up or feel comfortable opening up here, if they're just kind of like demanding answers, if they're not handling the situation in a way that is like, that was gambling. It's interesting how much deep stuff would maybe come out of a conversation or an interaction like this with this person. Because it seems like it's like you guys have known each other forever, but you didn't know shit about each other, or you knew each other forever ago, but this situation was so many cycles of just the same thing, that it never actually went where it was supposed to. And I think you had to hold certain versions of yourself back, and this person could have thought you were a liar, or you were... This reading took a real turn. I'm gonna finish this out, but I'm like... Fire sign, Mercury retrograde, sexuality. That gambling card's about addiction. So this person could have, like I was saying, is maybe something where they know they're wanting to explore some kind of opportunity with you, but this person, they've had some kind of epiphany here, some kind of like awakening to how they clearly feel upset, or they feel bad about where this is. So that means that they know that how they came off and how they came across. Yeah, lusting, forbidden, non-committal sexual energy. And then transcendence, unity, and then detachment and cold. I feel like you got a cold, lustful, detached version. And part of this was because of how this person viewed, it's what they were projecting onto you. Possibility, free-spirited adventures, risk. They could have thought that you were they could have thought you were kind of a risk taker, or that you took gambles when it comes, and you may have been in the past. It's maybe why they see you as like somebody completely different. They could have known like you in a different life, or when you were in another relationship, and how you operated in that compared to like how you are now. And I think this person, it could also be that they heard how you operated in another relationship, or they saw that, but it's sort of like if you were in a whole actual like genuine relationship with someone, clearly that person got to know you well enough or showed enough effort in getting to know you to where they did get to see all the sides of you. And they did get more of an in-depth experience, but since they just saw you having that experience with this person and they didn't have that experience with you, or you weren't the same, you didn't show up the same, they maybe thought you were being concealed, or they thought you were hiding something, or that you were lying. I feel like they distanced themselves, but I feel like this person actually did like lie about some things, and this person, they took some risks here when they detached, and this person they feel shitty about this. So if this is going to be an actual conversation, it seems like they want to, but it seems like they would have to, it's like they might be fearing this because they know they'd have to tread lightly. Divine Feminine. Regret, repression. They're looking at you now very differently. Foundation, established, security, family. They're seeing you, they did not see you as a relationship material, that's how I'm saying this. Or they didn't operate, or they're understanding how they operated as if they thought you weren't really shit. This person's realizing that they were very self-centered, thinking, missing you, craving, desiring. It says miss you. I'm really conflicted about this reading. I hate the energy of this. Family, home, commitment. There's two cards here about family. Abundance, gifts, celebration, North Node, purpose, cosmic. I feel like this is something where what they did know about you, it very much fed their ego. Like all of it. You could have, like I was saying, you could have tried. You could have tried to offer this person opportunities for this loyalty. Twin flames, conflicted, fantasy. I feel like you are conflicted because you're like, I don't even think I know this person, to be honest. Like, silence, clarity. Their silence was clarity enough for you. Exhaustion. Good time, thrills. Yeah, you don't want to, if you maybe feel like this person saw you as, let's just have a good time, like second chance, reconciliation, making amends, opportunity. This person, if they come in, or if they do show some effort in this, which it looks like, I want to say for this collective, they already sort of have, they've been starting to, or they've shown that maybe they want to. It's showing up like, I want to say you have some good boundaries that maybe you're going to have in this situation with this person this time around, because I don't think you trust this person as far as you could throw them. So this person would have to put in like a decent amount of effort here. Health again.